Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class we were talking about the questions which is of sample paper, and today also we will going to continue with the questions only. Now see here, up to now we had completed question number 19, and now we will start to see the question number from question number 20. Now see here, the question is that a convex lens. So question is that a convex lens has a focal length of 10 centimeter. At what distance from the lens should the object be placed so that it forms a real and an inverted image 20 centimeter away from the lens? Now see here, in this question focal length is given and the focal length is 10 centimeter. You can see here the focal length is given, that is 10 centimeter, and it is a convex lens, so obviously it will be positive only 10 centimeter. So question is at what distance from the lens should the object be placed? So we have to find the object distance here, and so that the image which will be formed, it will be what? It will be 20 centimeter. So here as you can see focal length is given, and V is also given, which is a real and inverted image, so it will be also minus 20. And we know that the lens formula is 1 by V minus 1 by U is equals to 1 by F. Putting the value, students, the answer that we will get, it will be minus 20 centimeter. So the answer that we will get from it, that focal length, if it is 10 centimeters, so the object distance, it will be minus 20 centimeters. See students, it will be minus because the object is kept in front of the lens. Now see here, the next question is that if an object is placed 10 centimeter in front of a concave mirror of focal length 20 centimeter, the image will be. Now see here it is saying that a concave mirror is there, and the focal length of the concave mirror, which is given as 20 centimeter, right? And the object is, this is what? This is pole. An object is kept at 10 centimeter. It means the object is kept in front of, in between to that of the pole and focus. Here, somewhat here. Okay, so in the middle of the pole and the focus. So what kind of a image will be formed here? So we know that when object is kept at that of between that of the pole and focus, then the image that will be formed, it will be what? It will be behind to that of the mirror, and it is enlarged, and it is virtual and erect. So according to that, the answer, it will be the first option C. It is given diminished, upright and virtual. So it is not diminished, it is upright, it is virtual, but it is not diminished, but it is enlarged one. Second one, enlarged, upright, virtual. This is correct because it is virtual and erect. So this will be the correct answer. Now check out this C and D also. Diminished, inverted and real. So the image which will be formed here, it will be not an inverted one, it will be the erect one. And finally, enlarged, upright and real. So image will be enlarged, upright but not real, but it will be virtual image because the image is formed behind the mirror. Okay, so in this case we have seen that the object is kept between pole and focus, that's why the image is formed behind that of the mirror. Now a white light falls on glass prism, the least deviated color is. So when a white light falls on that of the glass prism, we know that it will get split into that of the 7 colors, and obviously the wavelength varies, and it is because of that there is a the scattering of the light will be what? It will varies also. So the least deviated color will be what? It will be red, since its wavelength is what? It is having the largest wavelength. So the deviation, it will be less. So the answer, it will be the red one. That red one will going to show the least deviation in color. Now next one is rainbow is formed due to. So a rainbow, you know that the rainbow is actually occur after the rainfall, and it is because that there are some of the water droplets which act as a crystal will remain in the atmosphere, and when the light passes through this through this water bubble, then it undergoes the process of a refraction. Then it will also undergo the process of sorry, first of all it will undergo the process of a reflection, then refraction, and also internal reflection. Okay, so according to that, the option it will be refraction, reflection and dispersion of light through water droplets. Although it involves the internal reflection also, so here the reflection is actually the total internal reflection or internal reflection. So we can say it undergoes the process of refraction, then internal reflection, and then finally dispersion. So according to that, B will be the correct option, that refraction, reflection and dispersion. Now length of the day is increased by 4 minutes. Obviously the length of the day increases since the sun is there, and the sunrise and sunset, uh, we can see sun uh, before the 10 minutes rise, and even we can see sun even after the 2 minutes the sunset occurred. So it is because of that, when you look at the difference, the total difference, it will come out as a 4 minutes. So according to that, the length of the day has increased 4 minutes. Basically this process occurs due to the process of the atmospheric refraction. Okay, so we can say that atmospheric refraction or refraction is that cause of the length of the day to increase by 4 minutes. Okay, so the option will be refraction. Refraction will be the answer. Now moving on and see section B questions. Now from this, which of the following gases can be used for storage of fresh sample of an oil for a long time? So when you look at the gas which can be stored for which is used for the storage of the fresh sample of an oil for a long period of a time, it must be what? It must be unreactive. That must be the first property of that particular gas. Otherwise what will happen, when we keep the food item in it, it will going to react with it. So in order to prevent that, we must see that the gas which is used for packaging must be unreactive. So carbon dioxide or oxygen, nitrogen or oxygen, carbon dioxide or helium, helium or nitrogen. So obviously nitrogen is what? Unreactive, and helium is also unreactive. Otherwise carbon dioxide and oxygen both will going to react. It is a reactive one. So the answer, it will be helium or nitrogen. We also know that in order to prevent the rancidity, we use the nitrogen gas for packaging the food item. Okay, including that of the helium also, which is an unreactive gas. So it will be easy for us to use it for the packaging of fresh sample. Now see here. Now question number 26. Which of the following is or an? So in question number 26, question is, which of the following is or an endothermic process? So process of endothermic means what? Which actually there is an absorption of a heat occurs so that the reaction can take place. So here the reactions are given student question. The first one is dilution of sulfuric acid. We know that we have solved such kind of a question, and we have seen that the dilution of the acid is what? Which evolves a huge amount of heat. So it is because of that only. Like suppose if we add the water to that of the acid, what will happen? We know that it will going to splash. Chances is there that it will splash and may burn the person. So basically it is what it involves a huge amount of a heat to come out, so that will be not an endothermic process, but it will be an exothermic process. Second one is sublimation of a dry ice. Obviously the ice get converted into gas, that is the, or a solid get converted, directly get converted into gas without undergoing the phase of a liquid, that is the sublimation process. And this will happen, the conversion of the solid to the gas will happen if it will going to absorb that of the heat. So this can be an endothermic process in which the sublimation occur of that of the dry ice into the carbon dioxide. Dry ice is what? It is a solid carbon dioxide. Condensation of a water vapor. So here in the condensation of water vapor, it will going to release the heat. In we know that the water vapor releases the heat which it already had absorbed and get converted into water droplets. So this reaction will involves the kind of a release of a heat. So it will be not an endothermic process, but it will be what? It will be an exothermic process. Then the next one is evaporation of water, and in evaporation of the water, water will be get converted from water to water vapor by absorbing heat. Okay, so absorption of a heat is water, that is an endothermic process. So from the four options, if you look, the second and the fourth is what it is considered to be an. So second and fourth will be the option, that will be what? It is an endothermic process. Okay, so we can say here that out of this, the second one and the fourth one is the correct option. So this is the fourth option which is considered to be the correct one. Now see here, the next one is, during the preparation of a hydrogen chloride gas on a humid day, the gas is usually passed through the Gar tube containing calcium chloride. The role of calcium chloride taken in a Gar tube is 2. Now see here, when we used to prepare the hydrogen chloride gas on a humid day, the gas is usually passed through the Gar tube. Actually, this Gar tube is consisting of a calcium chloride, and basically it help in removing the. So it basically there, calcium chloride is there in order to absorb the moisture from that of the gas. Okay. So the role of the calcium chloride which is taken in that of the Gar tube is what? Is to absorb the moisture from the gas. Okay. Now the next question is that common salt, beside being used in kitchen, can also be used as a raw material for making. Common salt is what? NaCl, and NaCl, you know that the common use of the NaCl is what? It is used as a table salt or used in a kitchen. But yes, it is also used in the preparation of many of the other salts, many of the other compounds. So as a raw material. So the first one, washing soda. Second one, bleaching powder. Third one is baking soda. And fourth one is the slaked lime. So you see students that it is NaCl is basically used in the formation of a washing soda, because we know that the brine solution is used, ammonical brine is used, and washing soda, and you know that from the washing soda from the baking soda washing soda is prepared. Bleaching powder, it is formed with the help of a calcium chloride, so that will be not used in making that of the it is not used as a raw material for it. Slake lime is formed when the chlorine gas is passed to that of the calcium. When water is added to that of the lime water, then there will be the formation of a slake lime. So according to that student, you will see that the first and the third will be the correct option, in which the washing soda and baking soda is used for making the raw materials. Okay. Then the next one is, the pH of a gastric juice released during digestion is. So pH of a gastric juice is what? So here some of the pair is given: FeSO4 solution and copper metal, AgNO3 and copper metal, copper sulfate solution and silver metal, and sodium chloride and copper metal. Now you look at here that if we start with the FeSO4, iron is what is, it is more reactive than copper metal. Remember that reaction, students, which we have seen in the experiment also, where we had dipped the iron rod in that of the copper sulfate solution, and due to which there is a change in the color happened from the blue solution to green. So it is because that the copper is what, iron displaces that of the copper being more reactive. So it is not possible for the copper to displace the iron. So no such reaction, no such changes that we will going to see if we dipped a iron sulfate, if we dipped a copper metal into that of the iron sulfate solution. So first will be not a displacement reaction. Second one, AgNO3 and copper metal. So yes, silver is what? It is a less reactive than that of the copper. So if we have taken the silver nitrate solution and made that of the copper to react with it, so there is the formation of a copper nitrate, which is blue in color, and silver will be formed. Silver will be left behind. So this will going to show the displacement reaction. So second will going to show the displacement reaction. Third one, copper sulfate and silver metal, just opposite to that one, students, that if we take a copper sulfate solution and we will add the silver metal to it. So silver being less reactive, it will not going to react with that of the copper present in the copper sulfate solution, and then there will be no such reaction will take place. And sodium chloride solution and copper, sodium being very more reactive, you know that the sodium is the most reactive, and copper being the least reactive. So yes, the copper will be not able to displace the sodium from the sodium chloride, so no reaction will take place here also. So if we will see here from if we will see from all these pair, so it is the second one which is the correct option, a correct pair where the proper displacement reaction can take place. So yes, the copper metal will going to displace that of the silver from that of the silver nitrate solution. Other, they cannot show the displacement reaction. Now let us move on and see assertion and reason from question number 31 to 34. Now see here, question is, if we look at the assertion, question is that after whitewashing the wall, a shiny white color on wall is obtained after 2 to 3 days. So whitewashing the wall, you see students, that is the correct one. Whitewashing the wall, what will happen, there will be shiny appearance will occur to that of the white color after 2 to 3 days, because it will going to react, the slake lime, the calcium hydroxide will going to react with the carbon dioxide. So calcium hydroxide will going to react with the carbon dioxide, and due to which there is a formation of a calcium carbonate layer, and due to which there is a shiny appearance will occur to the wall. So assertion is correct. Now see here, the reason is given that calcium hydroxide react with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate, and yes, which gives the shiny white color to the wall. So this is the correct reason also given to that of the. So both the statement are correct as well as the reason which is given for that of the assertion, that is also correct. So if we look at question number 31st in assertion and reason, we will find that the option A is the correct one, where the assertion and reason both are true, and reason is what, that is the correct explanation of the. So option A will be the correct one, where the assertion and reason both are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Now if we look at the second one, assertion is what, there is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the human heart. So you know that a human heart consisting of the 4 chambers, and there is a valves which used to, there is a septum actually which used to prevent the mixing of the oxygenated blood to that of the deoxygenated blood. Now let us see what is the reason behind it. So valves are present in the heart which allow movement of blood in one direction only. Actually, this is the correct one, that valves are present in the heart and which basically help. Actually, the valves are the bicuspid and tricuspid valves are present at both the auricle and the ventricle, in between to that of the auricle and ventricle, and they help in preventing the backflow of the blood, making the blood to move, which allows the movement of the blood only in one direction. But this is not the correct explanation of the assertion that there will be no mixing will take place between that of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the human heart, because there is the septum which is present in it which do not allow the mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood to that of the heart. So yes, both the statement are correct, but the reason is not the correct explanation. So we will say that option B will be the correct option, where no mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated will occur, but yes, the reason is not the correct explanation. Now see here, question number 33. Small intestine receive the secretion of liver that digest fats. So small intestine receives the secretion of liver that digest fats. You know that bile is actually released, in which the liver basically used to release the bile that will help in the emulsification of the fats. So small intestine will, yes, the hepatopancreatic duct in which the pancreatic juice and the bile will get mixed together, and that will help in emulsification of the fat, that will help in digestion of the fat. Bile juice contain enzymes. No, that is not a correct option, because bile juice itself will help in the emulsification only. Okay, otherwise there is the lipase which is also present in the intestinal wall, small intestine, and that will help in the further digestion of the fats. So assertion is correct, but reason is not correct. Now see here, question number 34. Assertion: light travel faster in water than air, and reason: water is denser than air. So assertion is what? That light, it travel faster in water than in air. So assertion is not correct one. You know that the optical density of water is what? It is higher than that of the air. So the speed of the light is also slow in case of a water as compared to that of the air. And the reason is given, water is denser than air. Yeah, this is the correct one, that the denser medium is water and air is what? It is a rarer medium. So assertion is false, but the reason is true. So the option D will be the correct option, in which the assertion is false but the reason is true. Now let us see question number 35. Which of the following oxide of iron would be obtained on prolonged reaction of a iron with the steam? So you know that the iron is not very easy for the iron oxide will not going to easily react with the metal oxide. You know that it will going to react with the oxygen to form the react with the water to form the respective hydroxide. But yes, it is quite difficult for the iron oxide to react with the water. So yes, it will not going to react with that of the cold water, even with the hot water. But yes, when we made it to react with the steam for a longer period of a time, then it will going to help in the formation of the metal hydroxide. So it is iron third oxide is there, students, which is Fe3O4, responsible for the reaction with that of the steam. So Fe3O4 will be the correct option. Now, which of the following are not an ionic compound? Ionic compound, you know that it is an electrovalent compound, and it will be formed in which one of them loses the electron, another one gain electron. So transfer of electron is responsible for the formation of the ionic bond or electrovalent bond, or help in the formation of a ionic compound or electrovalent compound. So according to that, if we look at KCl, you know that KCl will be there because potassium will going to lose the electron, and it will become K positive, while Cl negative will going to attach with it. So potassium chloride will be the correct option. Yes, it is an ionic compound. HCl is there, student. Yes, you know that H positive and Cl negative is there, which will going to be react with the will react with that of the so HCl is actually one positive and Cl negative is there, but hydrogen can be it can be a covalent also. So hydrogen is not an ionic compound. And yes, CCl4 will going to combine with each other in order to form the covalent bonding between them. So CCl4 is also not a correct option. NaCl. Yes, NaCl is an ionic compound in which Na positive and Cl negative combine together to form the sodium chloride. So which one of the following is not an ionic compound? So it is the second and third will be the correct option, where HCl and CCl4 is not an ionic compound. Okay.